Happy Halloween! Today we are diving into the spooky, scary, frightening world of client management. These worst case scenarios, these nightmares might be keeping you up at night and have you worried about the future of your business. But don't worry, we're going to talk about what to do instead. Hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome for the very first time. All around, welcome. I'm Carrieblogger, a career freelancer on Fiverr.com, where I have been selling as a Fiverr Pro verified copywriter for about the past 9 years. And in today's Freelance Friday video, like I said, we're going through those ultra spooky, scary client failures. Because it's Halloween. Why not? The funny thing is I don't even like holidays. I don't do holidays, but for whatever reason, this is the one exception, and I do really enjoy making these stupid themed videos for Halloween. But before we get into that, we have to announce this week's Blogger of the Week, and if you'd like to be the Blogger of the Week just like Come Across, all you have to do is drop a comment down below and you might get picked. Also, I gotta show off my Halloween costume for this year. Spooky. All right, guys. Client management fails. The first one we're going to talk about is when you realize that you are missing a vital piece of information, but like way too late. Like you should have figured this out 4 days ago. You're missing something really, really important, and it is currently stopping you from proceeding with the delivery. Maybe you skimmed. Maybe you didn't read it at all. Maybe it didn't occur to you that you should be going through that information to make sure you have everything before you actually start on the order. Regardless of the why, you're in trouble. You might be tempted to reach out to them, which is maybe necessary. Hey, last minute question. So sorry, I'm working on your order and I just realized that I'm missing this one little bit of information. If you need to do that, go ahead and do that immediately, because you don't know how long it's going to take that client to get back to you. Hopefully, they're a super responsive client who's just going to shoot that information to you right away, but there's a very, very real chance that that's not what's going to happen. So my real secret suggestion, which is not always going to work, is to see if you can make it work without asking. If that means that you have to do way more research, that's going to take a lot more time on your part, but you can ultimately find that answer yourself. I would recommend doing that so that your client doesn't even need to know that maybe you made a little bit of an error on your part in the brief review session. That's not to say that you should just guess. That's not to say that you should just make stuff up. But maybe, just maybe, you can fix this problem without revealing to the client that you're in trouble. Oh, and if you realize right now when you're working on the project and not 4 days ago when they placed the order that you overpromised or they underpaid, doesn't matter. You realize that way too late and it's now up to you. You've just got to do the work as planned. Do not reach out to them right before they're expecting their delivery and say, oh, hey, actually, you need to pay me more money. Just take the hit. Learn for next time and don't make it a problem for them. Okay, so of course, the best way to avoid these bad experiences is just to match up with your ideal client in the first place. To do so, let's talk about today's video sponsor, Capshow, led by Deidre Shen, creator of Viralocity Marketing. Deidre hosts a free live web class every week that covers her step-by-step strategy for identifying, reaching, and converting your target clients. With this method, one attendee got 1,178 customers in under 3 weeks while spending less than $120 in ads. Register for Capshow web class using the link in the description or pinned comment below. And thanks to Capshow for sponsoring this video. You might also hear the dreaded words, that's just not what I was expecting. Oh, dagger through the heart. That's hard. But the honest truth is that that's really almost always your fault. And I'll say almost always because yeah, sometimes there's a bad Apple client, but really, even with those bad Apple clients, you can solve that problem preemptively by doing some more things right. Grab your time machine, hop back to the beginning, ideally before they place the order, and make sure that you are sending clear, easily accessible access to a robust variety of samples that tell them exactly what they can expect. So now that they've complained, now that they've said, it's not what I was expecting, which is like the worst issue to fix. You've got to get that subjective information clarified, and hopefully you can sync those things up with what you actually offer and what they thought they were getting. Things like asking not only who your competitors are, but what they do and don't like about what other market players are doing. Ask what their vision is. Ask what they see their brand doing or how they see it unfolding in the future. And yeah, you can ask them for their tone of voice or the style that they want to work with. But often as the service provider, you are the expert who understands those nuances, and they might not really know how to describe or translate that for you, and especially not in like technical language. So instead, keep it personal. Ask them about the vibe of their brand. Ask them about the feeling that they want to convey, and see if you can get more just real human language in the conversation to make things a little bit more clear. All right, you're trying real hard to make them happy. What do you do when one freebie, one little complimentary extra thing you gave them, suddenly turns into an avalanche of demands that feels like you can't stop it? Just like all these things, this is really a time machine issue. This is you need to have a clear revision policy. You need to have a clear service scope policy. You need to have a clear contract of exactly what they're expecting in terms of the delivery, the quality, the timeline, everything. But let's say you're in failure mode. You didn't do that. And when you have a problem buyer, or maybe you are the problem and your management style is not clear enough, is not working, let's be honest, you need to know how to turn that around and get control of the situation. In this case, you're going to give them one more little extra thing to help smooth things over, keep everyone happy, keep it light, keep it positive. But when you offer that one more little thing, you need to make sure that that comes with a clear understanding that this is only one more. You're doing this because you care about their success, or you're doing this because you acknowledge that they want something that maybe hadn't been discussed, and maybe that's on you. But ultimately, when they accept that one more little thing, that comes with the clear, written down, concrete understanding that the next thing that they might need will come at a cost. And you're going to preface that. You're going to tell them what that timeline and process might look like after this one little concession. And then there is no golden perfect rule, but you've got to have a clear limit. You've got to explain that clear limit, and you've got to stick with it. Something happened. Something monstrously unplanned broke your schedule, and you will not be able to deliver on time. Let's say that even in this case, a time machine wouldn't help you. You were already following my advice to have a buffer window. You were already planning to deliver a day and a half early. You already had that time carved out just in case something happened. Tell them the truth. Tell them what is going on, and you don't need to make it a sob story, and you don't have to go into detail, but you do have to be a real human person. I have a plan to fix this, to get through everything, to get to your delivery, but it's going to take time. Even though we have this delay now, I promise, I guarantee I will do my absolute best, and by absolute best, I mean you will do it, to get it done by this extended date, and give them a clear deadline of what the new deadline's going to be. If that new deadline doesn't work for them, give them the right to cancel. Don't make them feel bad about it. This is just what happens. I would also strongly recommend, in terms of client management here, that you also explain that you are putting a priority on your existing orders, this particular client, and that you are doing things to make sure that nothing else gets in the way. I recently hired an illustrator to work on my novel, my cover, and some illustrations of characters and environments. And this happened to me as a buyer. I feel bad for the dude. I had sympathy. I had empathy. I understood that he was going through some personal challenges and that things came up. But the way that he handled the order was not this way. And it was extremely frustrating to continually have the rug pulled out from me of never knowing for sure what the deadline was going to be, never knowing what I could expect, and ultimately wanting it to get done, wanting it because the quality was good, the result was good. I had wasted a month of this time in this process, and it was too late to go back. I just needed to know what I could really expect. And I didn't want to hear lies about, oh, my internet's down today. Oh, I'm uploading this right now. Oh, you'll have this in 20 minutes. And then 8 hours later, I'm sending a message to check in and say, you told me it was going to be done. What's going on? And then a new excuse, a new explanation would pop up, and the story just didn't add up. That's a client management fail, but I know that you can do better. If you're still watching, you know you are my actual hero. Thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to check out the pinned comment and the description down below to see what else I've got going on. Most notably, my book, my dystopian sci-fi book, is available for pre-order starting December 10th and will be available on Amazon and Audible starting January 10th. So if you want to join my pre-order list and join Carrie's book club for first look, exclusive access, all that good stuff for my new book without disruption, visit carriefrenchauthor.com to do so. I'm beyond excited about that book, you guys. I'm gonna keep pitching it and you are gonna love it. You know you are worth so much more than your workload. And let's get back to work.